Welcome to Songwriters at Play. Highlights from the live music events held all over the Central Coast. In 2014, we presented more than 200 shows in 11 different venues. And one of those venues is Dambino Cellars in Paso Robles, where we present a monthly concert series every second Friday. And it's the perfect listening room. A raised stage, theater lighting, 75 seats, and a bit of standing room at the bar. And we certainly needed all that standing room last January 10th because our show was SRO. And it's no wonder because the first set featured AmberCross, accompanied by her husband James Moore and Gary Arsemal.
Well, as you probably know, tonight is a real celebration of local music, and I'm pleased to be presenting Kenny Blackwell and Dorian Michael, and also the AmberCross Band. Amber had a real good year last year, has a brand new CD out, and also has a brand new husband back here, James. So I think she'd have to say it was a pretty good year overall.
I told James that we could not get married until I got that CD done. I said, and he was not allowed to propose until after I had the CD done. He listened. And he's still listening. We're going to start with a song that I wrote about the San Joaquin River. There was once a rich and fertile valley, watered by the San Joaquin. She gave and she gave plenty, from her foothills to her seas. From miles they came to farm her, the blackest soil you ever seen. And she ran all the way to San Francisco Bay. She was wild and she was free. The Frying Dam, it holds her, and for 60 miles she runs dry, polluted by those that crowd her, with only dollars on their minds. And they did nothing to rebuild her, not a cover crop or tree. Now the topsoil's turned to powder, it's been taken by the breeze. And what'd you ever do to your valleys? They used to be so green. You paved and planted orchards, diverted our rivers and streams, and you took all she had to offer, blinded by your greed. Now it's no wonder that she's on fire when you pretend that you don't see. Now there's a bird eating berries in the shade of a mudroom tree. The smoke settled low and heavy, and I'm finding it hard to breathe. They say that California just might drop off into the sea. I wanna be out of that line of fire when mama's soul busts free. Take me riding on a lonesome cowboy's yodel out across the lone prairie. Let's get carried away together. Sing me how it used to be. July sun, wildfire, it's got nothing to do with me. Lay that buffalo hide across my shoulders, paint a rose tattoo on me. Need a friend, I need a lover, I need a long tall glass of tea, 'cause I'm all out of answers, trying to learn your harmony. I need a place to run for cover, a place I won't be seen. The river aches from this drought she's under, touch her and set her free. And I move along these cattle trails, across these canyon walls, with my savage on the downhill so as not to break my fall. And I'm a hawkeye on a sparrow, I will find your game. The rest is up to you, my friend. You know the wind is beginning to change. And I wake up in the morning, all I feel is my disease, and it's knocking on my back door, tugging at my sleeve. I am anxious and uncertain, something seems so wrong. I don't know what the fight is for, all I know, it's taking my song. And I move along these cattle trails, across these canyon walls, with my savage on the downhill so as not to break my fall. And I'm a hawkeye on a sparrow, I will find your game. The rest is up to you, boys. You know the wind is beginning to change. And I look outside my window through the sheets of pouring rain, and I can't hide the feeling that I'm circling the drain. And so I telephone my father to hear him say, I pray for you. He says, I lead you back to Jesus if it's the last thing I do. And I move along these cattle trails, across these canyon walls, with my savage on the downhill so as not to break my fall. And I'm a hawkeye on a sparrow, and I will find your game. The rest is up to you, boys. You know the wind is beginning to change. And I sing because I have to. I don't really have a choice, so I have to tell you how I feel. I have to raise my voice, and nothing is for certain. There is no guarantee. Merrily we roll along, merrily we go a-hunting. I move along these cattle trails, across these canyon walls, with my savage on the downhill so as not to break my fall. And I'm a hawkeye on a sparrow, I will find your game. The rest is up to you, boys. You know the wind is beginning to change. Is beginning to change.
Thank you.
You can come in, but you can't stay long. You can come in, but you can't stay long. You can come in, but you can't stay long. This is my house, I like living alone. And I don't need a boy, even if he's grown. I guess I don't mind if you take off your shoes. I guess I don't mind if you take off your shoes. I guess I don't mind if you take off your shoes. They slip off easy and on again too. Michael said you're leaving, you'll be leaving here soon. He makes me laugh and he makes me cry. He makes me laugh and he makes me cry. He makes me laugh and he makes me cry. Somebody put another quarter in this guy. Before he goes, I want another ride. And I can't help it if the ink ain't dry. I can't help it if the ink ain't dry. I can't help it if the ink ain't dry. I got it out of my system. I ain't the marrying kind. But when you say it that way, you make it sound so nice. I know it's late, but I ain't tired. I know it's late, but I ain't tired. I know it's late, but I ain't tired. I could listen to you talk, going on for hours. See if April showers really bring me flowers. Give me a reason to make you leave. Give me a reason to make you leave. Give me a reason to make you leave. 'Cause I'm getting weak, weak in my knees. I'm falling fast, and I can hardly breathe. You don't have to know what you want in life. You don't have to know what you want in life. You don't have to know what you want in life. Just catch it quick, or it may pass you by. And if it knocks, don't make it knock twice. Hey, now I see you. Hey, now I see you. Hey, now I see you. As I look back, you're looking back too. Never known a man like I wanna know you. Never known a man like I wanna know you.
Thank you. This little song kind of becomes a mantra for me some days. I don't let it worry my mind.
Short month that flew by like a bird on a wing. I don't let it worry my mind. Turns out the rent is due sooner than we think. I don't let it worry my mind. Wipe the tears and hide my eyes at the kitchen sink. I don't let it worry my mind. I just try and focus on the simple joys life brings. I don't let it worry my mind. It sure is warm from February, and I can see bare patches of our lawn. Winter was so cold and dreary, but it looks like sunny days from now on. Radio is speaking out the most depressing things. I don't let it worry my mind. More and more I'm finding out you can't trust who you think. I don't let it worry my mind. It sure is warm for February, and I can see bare patches of our lawn. Winter was so cold and dreary, but it looks like sunny days from now on. Late frost it came and took most everything. I don't let it worry my mind. Looks like I was fooled by an early spring. I don't let it worry my mind. It sure is warm for February, and I can see bare patches of our lawn. Winter was so cold and dreary, but it looks like sunny days from now on.
Thank you.
That was AmberCross on guitar, James Moore on harmonica, guitar, and mandolin, and Gary Arsemal on fiddle and upright bass. They played the opening set of our January 10th, 2014 concert at Dambino Cellars in Paso Robles, California. We'll be returning to Dambino Cellars on Friday, January 9th, when we'll be featuring hot pickers Kenny Blackwell and Dorian Michael, plus second-generation nitty-gritty dirt band Nathan McEwen, with special guest Nicole Strumso. Sign up for our email announcements at songwritersatplay.com, and we'll remind you. Coming up next, a couple more songs from AmberCross, and a whole bunch from Kenny Blackwell and Dorian Michael on Songwriters at Play. Brought to you by Central Coast Music, meeting or beating mail order prices in Morro Bay. And McPhee's Grill, 20 years in Templeton, now open at historic Sebastian's, across from Hearst Castle.
Hi, Ian McPhee here. It has been 20 years since we opened McPhee's Grill in Templeton. As we look forward to another 20, I would like to thank all of our customers for their lasting support. Now for something new. Visit us at historic Sebastian's in beautiful San Simeon, located across Highway 1 from the entrance to Hearst Castle. Come join us by the beach for local grass-fed Hearst Ranch beef burgers, grilled fresh fish, deli sandwiches, and salads. Every Tuesday through Sunday, 11:30 to 4.
McPhee's Grill, across from the grain elevator in picturesque downtown Templeton, and now at the beach, across the street from Hearst Castle at historic Sebastian's.
Welcome back to Songwriters at Play. Dambino Vineyards and Cellars in Paso Robles was founded by a family of professional musicians who blend wine with live music, food, and family. Co-owner Carmine Rubino does sound at our shows. He's an Emmy Award-winning recording engineer with 13 gold and platinum albums to his credit, having worked with artists that include Peggy Lee, Barry Manilow, Grand Funk Railroad, and Three Dog Night. And last January 10th, Carmine was at the controls for our concert featuring AmberCross, Kenny Blackwell, and Dorian Michael. So here's a couple from Amber, followed by Kenny and Dorian.
Annie is red, just like her mother, with soft white trim around her face. And her will is like her father, carries us along at an easy pace. On top of Annie, I know nothing at all. I've come to trust each step she takes. That don't come easy when you've taken a fall, to get back on and ride away. And our hearts are forged with fire, and we ride out on the wind. Wild horses cannot take you there and drag us back again. And our hearts are forged with fire, and we ride out on the wind. Wild horses cannot take you there and drag us back again. Don't look at me, don't try and touch me. My jaw is iron and the mule is fast. In this cold heart you've placed your stock in, soon as give it away. I can take it back. And our hearts are forged with fire, and we ride out on the wind. Wild horses cannot take you there and drag us back again. And our hearts are forged with fire, and we ride out on the wind. Wild horses cannot take you there and drag us back again. I led Annie off the trail. Now alone we begin to wander, ran face to face with the devil himself. Annie, ride home and tell your master my body's tired and my feet are sore. I'll wait here till I get an answer. I'm taking off this uniform, and our hearts are forged with fire, and we ride out on the wind. Wild horses cannot take you there and drag us back again. And our hearts are forged with fire, and we ride out on the wind. Wild horses cannot take you there and drag us back again. Annie is red. Tell me, how do you pray? Where do you go and what do you say? Do you fall on your knees at the end of each day? How do you pray? Do you shake your fist at the sky? You stub your toe and you wonder why, when life ain't going your way. How do you pray? Tell me, how do you pray? Where do you go and what do you say? Do you fall on your knees at the end of each day? How do you pray? Oh, and where do you feed your soul? Be it a lazy afternoon at your favorite fishing hole, where you can marvel at God's grace. How do you pray? Tell me, how do you pray? Where do you go and what do you say? Do you fall on your knees at the end of each day? How do you pray? When you lose someone you love And the comfort of friends just ain't enough when you just can't take the pain. How do you pray? Tell me, how do you pray? Where do you go and what do you say? Do you fall on your knees at the end of each day? How do you pray? Do you meet in the house of the Lord? You praise His name and you preach His word. Do you think you found the only way? How do you pray? Tell me, how do you pray? Where do you go and what do you say? Do you fall on your knees at the end of each day? How do you pray? Do you fall on your knees at the end of each day? How do you pray?
Thank you so much.
Well, what a pleasure it is to have these two gentlemen up here on stage. The things they can do with strings, ladies and gentlemen. That's Kenny Blackwell over there on the mandolin, Mr. Dorian Michael.
Started out easy, just me and Sally. Started out simple, living off the land. Well, we hardly even noticed that uneasy feeling coming on, changes at hand. It's a hard scrabble life, we lost our little Bessie, couldn't take the time to grieve. Well, it's 100 degrees in the shade this morning. Sally, she says she wants to leave. Well, Big Jim and his brother come up from Alabama, working on the backhoe to make ends meet. Hey, but nothing's gonna grow if you can't get some water, wearing out your backbone and your feet. Kids are gathered back up in the alleyway, scuffling for a scrap to eat. It's 100 degrees in the shade this morning. It's 120 in the street. They put down their axes and set down the shovels, abandon the wagons, horses and all. Picked an easy road anyone could follow, the minute the back was to the wall. No one uttered a single word, no one dare wonder why. It's 100 degrees in the shade this morning, I ain't telling no lie. Well, whatever happened to the will of the people? Whatever happened to law? If you can't put your trust in anything around you, thing is likely gonna fall. One way or another I'm holding on, doing what I do to survive. 100 degrees in the shade this morning, I'm gonna stay here till I die. Yeah, one way or another I'm holding on, what I got to do to survive. It's 100 degrees in the shade this morning, I'm gonna stay here till I die. Thank you. Appreciate that.
You just heard Kenny Blackwell on mandolin singing an original ballad. Dorian Michael was on guitar. And we opened that set with two songs by AmberCross, who plays guitar, accompanied by her husband James Moore on harmonica, guitar, and mandolin, with Gary Arsamall on fiddle and upright bass. They played our January 10th, 2014 concert at Dambino Cellars in Paso Robles, California. And don't forget, we've been presenting free afternoon concerts at Sculptera Winery in Paso Robles every Sunday afternoon for almost 4 years. And this Sunday, January 4th, we feature a harmony duo, Voice Recognition. Our calendar has all the details at songwritersatplay.com. In the meantime, stay tuned for more Kenny Blackwell and Dorian Michael plus a rousing finale with all 5 of our musicians sharing the stage at Dambino Cellars on Songwriters at Play. Hey, this holiday season, why not start a new tradition? Instead of the same old lame Christmas music, how about a drum circle? A great way to perk up Christmas morning and get the attention of HR during those holiday office parties. Lucky for you, Central Coast Music has just got in a boatload of doombecks and djembes. If you need a great portable amp for your hand drum, guitar, ukulele, whatever, you can't beat a Roland Cube. And you can't beat the at or below mail order prices at Central Coast Music. Plus, all kinds of ukuleles and every accessory under the sun to stuff the stockings of your favorite musician at Central Coast Music, your holiday headquarters. More of what you're looking for on Morro Bay Boulevard in Morro Bay.
Plus Santa's favorite, gift certificates for instruments, accessories, repairs, or vocal lessons.
From the land where palm trees sway.
Welcome back to Songwriters at Play. Highlights from the live music showcases held in several San Luis Obispo County locations. As Kenny Blackwell explained, he's played a lot of bluegrass music but didn't know much about the blues until he met Dorian Michael. Kenny is well known as one of California's foremost mandolinists. Guitarist Dorian Michael has played in about every style, from honky-tonk and electric blues to folk ballads and fingerstyle instrumentals. And they certainly mixed it up on January 10th at our concert at Dambino Winery in Paso Robles, California.
we don't have any songs about flannel shirts or old postcards, but we do have a song about a dog. So I thought this would be a good time to bring that one up. Dorian, your snot rag is right on the rest of the set list. You have to move it. Thank you. There it is. I didn't know what was coming up next.
Years ago, I got bawled out by my wife for using my sleeve to wipe my nose with. She said, "You're on stage. You're wiping your nose with your sleeve. That's so unbecoming." So the DJ Sonny Brown that we mentioned earlier that most of you know, my wife had told Sonny about that. We were laughing about how Dorian can't remember to take a handkerchief to the stage with him. And so I was playing some solo gig, and Sonny was sitting in the front row, and I wiped my nose on my sleeve, and she just sat there in such disgust. And I felt so bad about it that now I remember to bring the handkerchief, whether I need it or not.
So you didn't listen to your wife, but you listened to Sonny Brown.
Oh, the face that Sonny made was more disgusting than anything my wife could pull up, so it had a huge effect.
You see what I have to live with.
Not a dollar, not a penny, not a nickel to my name. My funds are tapped, man, I'm out of the game. Nickel up, nickel down, another nickel gone. I ain't got a nickel left to carry me on. But when I get back on my feet, I move from Saturday Alley up to Sunday Street. Mentally. Well, get me a pair of dice and roll 7 all the time. Then I'll be living on chicken and wine, caviar, 4-star Johnny Walker Black, 6 big-legged women in a gold Cadillac. Man, life is going to be so sweet when I move from Saturday Alley up to Sunday Street. That's right. Well, my hands get to shaking and I don't feel well. Drinking King Kong liquor and a bad muscatel, but you give me a drop of bourbon. Some breakfast in bed with them 6 big-legged women, man, that will wake the dead. Me and the other elite, we raising high-class hell up on Sunday Street. Now my friends say I'm talking out of my head, but you can't knock the man when he's got the bread. All the whores are gonna drop their drawers and say, "Here comes the man that mugged Santa Claus." But you've got to be discreet when you're talking to the king of Sunday Street. Life's gonna be so sweet when I move from Saturday Alley up to Sunday Street.
come on, little baby, let's tear that dance floor up. Well, come on, little baby, let's tear that dance floor up. Well, come on, sweet baby, see you stretch your stuff. Tear it up, tear it up, tear it up, tear it up. Well, come on, sweet baby, tear that dance floor up. Well, I'm leaving, little baby, gonna be gone a long, long time. Yeah, I'm leaving, little baby, gonna be gone a long, long time. Well, come on, sweet baby, show me a real good time. Tear it up, tear it up, tear it up, tear it up. Well, come on, sweet baby, tear that dance floor up. You sit back, mama, and cruise my way. Come around again, let me hear you say, tear it up, tear it up. Yeah, come on, sweet baby, tear that dance floor up. Well, come on, sweet baby, tear that dance floor up.
Mid-September, there's a half moon in the sky. I'm lying in bed. I listen to the coyotes cry, leaves blowing in, brewing into window pane. I woke up this morning to the sounds of an early rain. Used to think I looked back on us crying and laugh. I never thought I'd look back on us laughing and crying. Still go driving, but I take two circling wide, check my mirrors, keep an eye on my blind side. I try and remember days my heart was open wide. I watch the storm coming in, and I think about running outside. I never used to hesitate, never let the doubt in my mind. I never let the doubt in my mind. I got blood stains in the kitchen and a possum underneath the floor. Living this way, I could never ask for more. I say it's better you're back than mine, 'cause you're the one leaving this time. Ain't asking you to leave, I'm just showing you to the door. Mid-September, there's a half moon in the sky. I'm lying in bed. I listen to the coyotes cry, leaves blowing in, brewing into window pane. I woke up this morning to the sounds of an early rain. Give me a day I won't try and leave. I'll stay and see the seasons change. Between my love and me, I'm looking for a reason to put your shoes outside. I think things might be different if I stick around this time. Billows so wide rolling over, clouds building pile up high. Some bright morning, looks like heaven's coming down in style. Looks like heaven's coming down in style. Looks like heaven. Looks like heaven's coming down in style. It's September. There's a half moon in the sky. I'm lying in bed. I listen to the coyotes cry. Leaves blowing in, blowing in, tearing the pain. I woke up this morning to the sounds of an early rain.
Well, of course you're thinking the guy who booked this show must be a total genius, and I agree with you on that. And I feel so grateful for Carmine and Joanne and the hardworking staff here for letting us do the show here for you. I sure hope you come back and support it. We're going to do it once a month, second Fridays. Keep it on your calendar, folks. Hope to see you again soon. Thank you again for coming out. Good night, everybody.
The big finale from our January 10th concert at Diambino Winery in Paso Robles, California, with Kenny Blackwell, Dorian Michael, AmberCross, James Moore, and Gary Arsamon. This Songwriters at Play radio show was produced by Cliff Stepp, whose nose never runs since he took away its jogging shoes, with live sound by the award-winning Carmine Rubino, with script and talent booking by Steve Key, who says hankies are nothing to sneeze at. Check out our website calendar at songwritersatplay.com for details on upcoming shows. Our theme song is by Matthew White of Ballistic Cats. Thanks to Pepper Daniels and everybody at the Crush 92.5, the perfect blend. Tell your friends to listen to Songwriters at Play every Monday at 6 p.m. and Fridays at 1 p.m. on The Crush. Hey gang, we now have 3 ways to listen to past shows you may have missed. 1, on the radio page of our website. 2, free iTunes podcast. And 3, now available worldwide on TuneIn.com or by using their Android or iOS app. This is show number 162.